Hello and welcome. You are listening to episode Try to Luv U of the Freestyle Takeover podcast, the premier DDR freestyle podcast out there. I am one of your co-hosts, Pretty Paolo Sambrano, and to the right of me, I've got
Gabby J, aka Captain Canada.
And to the other right of me, I've got
DJ Melvis, your daddy in more ways than one.
And I just want to say congratulations, Mel and Melody. We are recording at the tremendous facility that is Mel's Garage, and congratulations to your new birth and the addition to your family.
Thanks. It's quite a wild ride, let me tell you.
So we just want to thank you for hosting us. I know the baby's resting, and I know Melody's resting, so we appreciate it. And yeah, I was gonna do like a thank you for your service, but I don't know why.
I don't know, 2 episodes in seems kind of too soon, man. Too soon.
Yeah, press F, everybody. And I want to introduce.
Press F for father.
Oh yeah, you press F for father. And I'd like to introduce, making their illustrious debut to the Freestyle Takeover podcast, the other final two members of Freestyle Takeover.
Ryan Godinez, formerly known as DCB, and I'm working on a new nickname right now, so I'll have that for you sometime soon.
And
this is John Sidianko, aka Chaos, aka J Sid Vicious. You can find me on Twitter at a 40 ounce for breakfast. What's good, baby?
this is wonderful. Like, this is a more full house than a TGIF lineup in the 90s. So, just wanted to say, with that out of the way, we have all 5 members, and our guest this week is DaKree, aka Kevin in the house, aka the USPF Freestyle Pump Champion 2018. What's up, man?
How y'all do? I'm DaKree. I'm the queen of the NorCal World Order. You know what it is. And I feel like I'm at the top of the world right now.
For those who aren't subscribing to the video podcast, we have DaKree sitting on the Para throne on the Para Paradise second mix machine right now, and it's very regal.
It feels right. It feels correct.
I think this is,
It
yeah.
really does.
I wish we had like a presidential photographer right now, just taking candids, just to release it as a book in the future.
Genetically superior.
Yes, queen!
So with the intros out of the way, we want to get to the first order of business. I want to talk about the other RTF that's happening, and that's Return to Fanime. Freestyle Takeover will be making an appearance at Fanime 2018. We will be hosting a freestyle tournament on Friday, the 25th. Sign-ups at 6:30. Tournament pops off at 7:30. Real quick, it is a 2-round tournament. First round will be a curated improv random draw. Second one will be straight up routines. It'll be on a DDR Extreme machine, and there will be prizes. And James, take it away on prizes.
So first place will get a custom towel designed by my sister Caitlin. She's an artist as well as a musician. She put in a lot of work on an amazing Freestyle Takeover themed, DDR themed towel for the first place winner of our Extreme tournament.
Very colorful, very pretty. It's a joy to look at.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I liked it so much it's already to lock screen on my phone. That should tell you.
That's right. This is true.
For all 3 places, we are being sponsored by the wonderful artist Emu. She provides all kinds of Bimani-related swag and merchandise. So she'll be giving away some stickers, some decals for all 3 places, card holders also for your Emu's card. Also for first place, getting a gift certificate to her store.
You can find Emu's work at ConCon on ticktail.com. I think it's concon.ticktail.com.
Talk about a tongue twister.
Right. Yeah, shout outs to Emmy. I see you with your 2DX12 passes though. Beast in it.
We can't wait, and like, I feel like I can confidently speak for everyone in this room, but like Fanime, like being all from the area, like we've all have like our own like histories with Fanime, and that like that was kind of our thing to do is coming up in the Bay Area in the like early 2000s. So
We'd always have exhibitions.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's been an official tournament since maybe 2010, maybe earlier. But it's been all exhibitions and just, we all hang out there. But I want to see people compete. This will be fun.
Yeah. And just to make it clear, you will need a Fanime badge if you want to compete, unfortunately. But I figure, I don't know, this is me being presumptuous, but I figure if you're listening to this, you probably already have a badge, let's be honest. And if you don't, like, I don't know, that's cool. You're broadening your horizons.
If you don't, we're doing VODs too.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. And if you see us at Fanime, feel free to say hi. So this train is keeping on running in more ways than one. So yeah, we got Fanime. And we got Cypher Cypher.
Oh, yeah.
Mel, take it away.
That's right. Just about a week ago, we wrapped up our first ever Cypher Cypher for Freestyle Takeover. Ooh. As you know, that was when we threw out 3 songs for everybody out there on the internet to freestyle, video record yourself, send it to us, hashtag it DFreestyle. And needless to say, we expected a few entries and we thought, okay, this is going to be cool. Honestly, the response we got was, it exceeded our expectations. And not just the submissions, but the talent that was put out there. It genuinely just made us feel great that people are actually taking this pretty seriously. So, just first off, to everyone who participated and gave us a submission, thank you so much. You're keeping the dream alive, and needless to say, this won't be the last. So,
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so
thank you
much.
from us at the staff all around. So with that out of the way, we had looks like 11 entries, and I'm just gonna run down 11 to 1 how everybody placed. And of course, there really are no losers in this because the fact that you stepped up to the plate and you sent something to us, you got more stones than anybody out there. Judging was done by all of Freestyle Takeover staff. We will actually post the results on freestyletakeover.com, which will include our judges' scorecard. Some of us actually even put personalized comments and critiques. So feel free to check that out. You know, we not only do we love talking to you guys, you know, talk to us afterwards. Hey, you know, we're all about, you know, what can improve or, you know, what we liked, etc., etc. One thing I'd like to throw out there before I get to the results is, if you can, for your camera angle, go with something a little farther and wider just so we can see your feet as well, not just your upper half of the body, because sometimes, you know, you might have the fanciest footwork, but if it's cut off, then, you know, that's something we're missing out on. And, you know, don't be shy. We want to see all of you, you know, all of your glory.
One thing that we really were really proud about the Cypher Cypher is just how geographically it spanned. Yeah. We had entries from all over America. We had 3 entries from Japan. So after the Freestyle Takeover tournament, we were getting inquiries from people saying, "Oh, I wish I could have made it to that tournament live, but I live in North Carolina." So that kind of spawned the idea of the Cypher Cypher. Like, even though you can't be with us live, you can still be with us.
Yeah.
All right, so without further ado, the results from Cypher Cypher number 1. At 11th place, we have from the Bay Area, Milpitas, Andrew Vaquilar. In 10th place, we have Mr. Dance Crazer, who I believe is out from Arizona.
Yeah.
So that was a good shot right there. 9th, we have Polyrath, who was from Chicago. Coming up from Sacramento in 8th place, Uncle Phil, who we also saw at the first Freestyle Takeover tournament. So good to see him represent. 7th place is our esteemed guest to the right of me, DaKree. Good stuff. 7's a lucky number, I heard. 6th place, we had Francisco, who did Hands Up in the Air. That was quite a routine there. 5th place, we had Butters, who was in with that Try to Love You routine. That was nice. 4th place, we had Zio, who is from Japan, who did Try to Love You. And then now we're getting to the top 3, and stop me if you heard this one before. Zio comes in 3rd place with Dance Celebration. Woo. By the way, shout out for him for rocking that Chicago House shirt.
Chicago House.
That was definitely not lost upon some of us in the crew. And then we have our runner-up winner for Cypher Cypher. We have Apple Frog.
Apple Frog.
So, yeah. Good job out there. That was the one who did it on home on like one of them home pads.
He got
That's what I wanted to see.
He had like 2 beds, like scrunched in between the pad, and he was still
still working it
out. He was still like out and like doing the moves. I'm just like, man, I so hope he doesn't hit the bed first.
That was like DIY to the full.
I like the diversity of locations we had. We had Apple Frog in his bedroom. We had a few people in their own garages on their own machines. We had people at round one.
Both flags.
We had Uncle Phil in front of his car.
Okay, well, we'll spit more on that, but let's get to the winner. And if you saw all these routines, if you followed them online, this one probably stood out to most everybody. No surprise. Representing Team Pandasan, Riri doing Try to Love You.
Congrats,
Shut it down.
So from Freestyle Takeover, congratulations, Riri. We'll get your prize pack going out in about a week or so. We'll reach out to you for your shipping address, and the thing we have to Google first now is how to ship to Japan cheap. Oh, but congrats. All right. So
Lift.
Yeah.
so guys, impressions. What on the routines? Let's talk about Rudy's routine first off. Like, how great was that?
I have to say, like, just combining all aspects of like how like it worked, like just not just the routine itself, but playing within the confines of the game. You know, he did the song on Expert,
Yeah.
and he AAA'd the song, and he looked good doing it.
That is like the only AAA video I'll ever watch like 50 times in a row.
Yeah,
Anyone who posts your video, like, I ain't trying to hate on you tech players, but anytime you post your AAA video, I'll be like, hey, did you do it like this guy?
And you put the scroll on reverse.
And yeah, I mean the diversity in the style. He had elements of just like whacking, house. Saw a lot of like character, like just theater. Man, it was he had the whole thing, man. And man, I don't know, just one of my favorite routines I've probably ever seen. That made me at least like give me like another reason why I love freestyle so much. And this is just this is just more attribution to that. So like. Congrats. It was amazing.
Yeah, truth be told, this was a world-class routine. Like, this could win damn near any tournament that I've seen in the past, ever. Aside from obviously the dance moves and such and being knowledgeable of the step chart, he just had a very good charisma that translated, even like without having a crowd there to hype him up or anything. Dude was just feeling it and...
Like, immediately.
Yeah, and as judges, as observers, like for me, I just felt it right off the bat. Even like people who I showed the video to who have a passing knowledge of freestyle, they're like, this guy has it. So...
It was inspiring. Like, this is where freestyle has progressed in 2018. Like, that's what I was looking for is, there's been a huge gap in America, but this is like evidence. This is hard evidence. Japan has kept it going into just higher and higher levels. Like, we got to catch up now. Like, this is like trying to catch up to Japanese players playing Third Strike.
That's
now that we know what's out there, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It had comedy, it had full extension, like theatrics, it had everything. And above all, you're playing a game, you're having fun. He looked like he was having so much fun and just enjoying himself up there. So shout outs to Riri, dude.
I think that's the inspirational part too, and I think you did just touch on that. But the fact that, and this is a thing that I talk about on the internal Freestyle Takeover Slack, but the idea of us moving away from the nostalgia. From like DJ 8Ball's cafe routine, for example, and instead of like there's hard evidence of like there is freestyle in 2018, and it is amazing, and to being able to like build on that is just freestyle has I don't say has a future, that sounds so fatalistic, but yeah, we have places to go, things to see, extensions to extend, smiles to smile.
There you
For
go.
like anyone who's into the NBA and like sports and stuff, this was Vince Carter in the 2000 dunk contest when he knocked out that first dunk and Magic was like, the dunk contest is back. This was that video was very much
I showed it to my mom.
What did your mom think of it?
Oh, she loved it.
See, Riri is for the mamas too.
Yeah.
And a preemptive Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there.
Yeah, happy moms. Yep.
Melody.
Yay!
Shout outs to Melody. Yeah.
Okay, any other competitors you want to shout out?
Let's give a shout out to number 2, Apple Frog, who came out of nowhere. Like that's fair to say, right?
Straight out the bedroom, man.
Out the bedroom into number 2. Like
Rolled out of bed.
Yeah. Like he's been like a lab monster this whole time. Came out of nowhere, but has been practicing, putting in work by himself. He said he'd never seen a freestyler like outside of exhibitions, just like in dancing in public. Like he's said on Twitter today, it was so awesome to see people at Freestyle Friday yesterday. He'd never seen another freestyler at a machine in the Bay Area, and so. Dude, welcome to the community.
Welcome.
We are happy to have you. You're talented as hell, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep at it, man.
And just seeing that routine, like that video, it's just further proof that there are no excuses as far as like why you can or can't freestyle. It doesn't matter if you don't have a machine. If you got your own pad at home and you got a computer or a PlayStation, you can rock it out, man. It's making do with what you got. And not only did he do it, awesome, just kind of with the aesthetic, ironic or not, but it's like. Most important thing is you and that pad and that camera, and he was making love to that camera while with his movements.
Those isolations.
Yeah. His style was very, very distinctive. to say the least. There was yeah, I'm still like tripping off of how like he was moving like with like all that cramped space, man. Like it was pretty crazy.
He can freestyle in a phone booth.
Yeah, if he wanted to, he could.
That's a skill, dude. That's like when you're at a show and you're trying to dance around other people.
Oh,
and, like
yeah.
you're boxed in.
Yeah.
Like, you do what you can.
We do what you can, exactly. Right.
Should have jumped into the backflip off his bed.
Yeah, we're gonna have like 205 live Lucha, Lucha
damn.
Freestyle Underground.
Extreme rules freestyle.
Just right. It's the equivalent to balls at voguing. That's freestyle underground. Here we go.
That's amazing.
Since Apple Frog is local, I'm hoping to see him show up to one of our live tournaments, Fanime, more Freestyle Fridays.
Oh, absolutely.
Whatever
Yeah.
else comes next.
Yeah, he's in the city.
Shout out to Zio, or Zio, however it goes. His routines I thought were really awesome too. That dance celebration routine was just off the hook because I'm a sucker for house dancing, so like that footwork, that's like the kind of stuff I, even as a freestyler, slash semi-dancer, I am jealous as hell about that. I want that, I want those feet for myself,
Yeah.
And Chicago House, I mean, come on, we already talked about
yeah,
it.
he got the footwork down already, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
And
he knows.
Yeah, not only did he have the footwork, but like that kind of last third of the routine where he like switched it up with his style. That was
he switched it up to a little bit more like a popping style. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, he's been trained. He has the foundations of street dance down. So translating that onto a DDR pad, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. Trying to translate just like the movements that you learn for years and years and trying to put that on a DDR pad, it's not easy at all. And I think
rivets and screws and stuff.
yeah, that, and then like being confined to 4 or 8 arrows and having to hit them on beat when a lot of the footwork that's used in these dances like require you to do moves that are not on like a whole note or anything like that. So it makes you think like 50 more times about stuff. So it's like for Zio to be able to do house footwork on a DDR pad while keeping like the feeling of house, like the house feeling, the house groove. I mean, it's remarkable. Like I thought, like I try to do that sometimes, and it's hard as hell for me, man.
Yeah.
all right. And one personal shout out I wanted to do was to Francisco, who did hands up in the air in his garage
With the
bow
bow
flags. Trust me, I gave that a +1 for that.
You knew he was trying to get swole for that routine.
It's all about them gains.
Get that
Gains
pump.
with 3 Z's. But I love that routine just so much because, like, you can tell dude was just having fun. Like, even he was by himself in the garage, and he's like, the fact he was using the lyrics and sort of like the musicality of it to hype up. It's like he had no crowd, but he was still like, if you put that in a actual crowd setting like tournament, that would be like crowd would get hyped for that.
Totally.
And he'd feed off them. Like, it'll go back and forth. It'll be awesome.
Right.
I was hyped for it watching it. Like, he's doing the hand movements with the lyrics, and then to close it out, he puts one up for 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Swish.
Yep. He said, "Count it."
So that was just one of the personal one of videos that I absolutely adored. So Francisco from Melvis over here, love you, baby.
Yeah, keep doing what you do, man. I see you, man.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Maryland. Yeah, sure. I've been there once. Okay, so without a way, stay tuned to our future podcast. We will have Cypher Cypher 2, and that also. Thanks everybody for picking "Try to Love You" as like the predominant song. That just validates my, taste in music.
Can I throw in one more thing about the Cypher?
Yeah.
Also, one thing that really stuck out to me was Polyrath from Chicago, who did his entry at a round 1. And he said it was his first time ever freestyling, and he was inspired by Dance Rush to do it.
Oh.
And it was pretty cool. He did like a little improv doubles routine, the hands in the air. And he said he used to watch DDR Freak videos when he was a kid.
There you go.
It's really cool that we were able to provide him a platform to try it out for the first time, and hopefully he continues to do it. It was really cool.
Yeah, hopefully keep on going, brother.
We hope to see more from you in the future.
Shout outs to tech players.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see you at the tournaments and such. Speaking of tournaments, a lot of us at Freestyle Takeover, we were recently at the USPF for their Pump It Up tournament freestyle. So a couple of us entered, and guys, impressions, man.
I mean, of course, USPF premier tournament for world qualifiers for the world Pump It Up tournament. the crowds were huge. Really big turnout. Round 1, the whole day was packed.
Huge.
Huge turnout. Mostly for tech players, of course. But of course, we had to represent for the freestylers as well. To my right, we do have the winner of that division.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. 2 rounds, two routines. It was
2 rounds, 2 routines.
It was a lot to prep for.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I myself entered on a very on a whim. Like I had 10 minutes left to enter, and I was just like, you know what? I gotta show my support. Just
same.
not just for dance game freestyle. And they work hard. I mean, they work hard to put this together, and I had to show my appreciation. For all the hard work that they put in. Looked like everyone that entered, they all had a great time doing it too. So that's all. But for me, that's all that matters. It's like have fun, but of course, this guy right here, take the win, take it by the throat, and just.
I did.
Yeah. But yeah, a great turnout. I think I'm looking forward to future iterations of the tournament, and looking to be more prepared for it next time.
Yes.
So
We had it for fun. I had it for fun also. I had a great time. But I just, you gotta give those numbers too. You want to increase the turnout and show support, and I think it's always good to do that. I always support people doing that. Uncle Phil last time came last minute and just danced his ass off for us. And
Freestyle Takeover. Yeah,
we appreciate the support. And I want to get back to Pump. That was my first time entering Pump. But
Yeah, without y'all, we actually beat the turnouts for the 2 pump giants in the entire world, being Korea and Mexico.
Yeah.
And y'all gave us so much support, and I hope we can. I'm glad some of us could bring it back to a Freestyle Takeover. So that cross is just
Thanks for having
symbiotic.
us.
Thank you.
One thing I will say about entering that Pump It Up tournament, my first freestyle Pump It Up tournament, it just the weeks leading up to it, just trying to practice, it gave me a whole new, perspective on how much different it is from DDR. It's not that easy to just plug and play. Oh yeah, if you play DDR, you can easily do Pump It Up. I mean, yeah, you'll have the rhythm and stuff, but just sort of the tracking of how the panels are a lot differently. It's the way you read charts and you try to translate to your feet. It is very different.
Absolutely.
So
I
you
agree.
you lose track of how confined some things are, and then how large some spaces are.
Yes.
So I would never bag on one game or the other, saying one is easier, or they're 2 different beasts, and I appreciate anybody who can rock both really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me to go out there and to make it into second round, mainly because I passed.
Yeah.
More about later.
It was cool, and that was my first freestyle competition in 10 plus years, so it was crazy to be out there and just have that feeling of the crowd, and trying to play up to them, seeing what's going to work, what's not, in real time, because in competition, if you're bombing out there and you're not getting a reaction, you better switch it up fast, otherwise you're on that sharp downhill to hell. So it was good to know, it's to some extent I still had it,
Exactly.
And who
Definitely
knows,
have.
maybe it won't be my last time out there.
For sure. Just going really quick off of what Mel said too earlier about having to go from one game to another. I was one of those unlucky fellows that failed the song. So unfortunately, per rules of the freestyle division, if you fail your song, you can't make it, which is fine. I think it goes to show that you really do need to put in the work. When you're prepping for these type of tournaments. I think, like I said, I entered on a whim 10 minutes before the cutoff, just like I said, to support. But I think for my experience, when I got up there, I'm I was missing all the arrows, because for me it's I played Pump maybe 7 times in my life. And I've known dance games since 2000. So that just goes to show you how many how inexperienced I was with the game.
It's that muscle memory.
Right.
You lose track of where you are on the stage for a bit.
Absolutely,
miss
and that's
arrows.
exactly what happened with me.
Yeah.
So I think a credit to everybody that can rock both. Being able to rock both stages in DDR and Pump It Up, and being very mindful of
It is totally not lip service. I mean, case in point, when we talk about tech, for example, even Chris for Life, who is arguably the best DDR player out there in the world. He joined into the Pump Tech, to try it out and, support and all that. And he didn't advance very far at all. So, that just goes to show these two games are their own beasts. And, it's not like you can just assume you can go into the other game and dominate.
Right.
It's great he entered, though.
Yeah.
I like seeing the
I said,
crossover.
just showing support. I mean, it was good to see him show the support, but of course, like you just said, like it's a completely different beast.
Yeah. But enough about us losers.
Yes.
We got the
Yes.
winner to the right of
Right
us.
here.
Exactly. The main event.
Yeah. You got the Halo
Main
above
dish.
everything.
Tell us everything.
The entree.
Serve us the tea.
Yeah.
I don't know, like USPF this year was such a blur because like I was stressed as hell. It was pretty my second round song. It was all I've been really listening to for like the past entire hour. I was probably even playing when I was asleep, but
It was like what the
song was it?
The Filipino
yeah,
vocalist.
I'm annoying. I can't even say it too.
It's okay. Don't
can't
feel
say
bad. Like
About to say, there are like four
there are
Filipinos in here.
here, and I don't think any of us could pronounce
Paul Haming Salamat Paul.
adobo, chicken, sisig, fried rice. I mean,
We're rolling jeepneys.
what's a kick? I don't know.
I'm not going anywhere near this.
Yeah. But no, for sure. Like when I saw the title, I was just like, wait, that's my language. like I know that. It looks familiar because it's like 25 letters long.
I feel seen.
That's the thing about Pump. It's like, well, DDR. I think DDR has more numbers in terms of people that are playing, but Pump has actually covered more worldly space. Sure, so there are so many more like other countries bringing in new music into the whole mix. So to have our very first, actually, the Filipino Prime 2 mix, they have their own exclusive.
Is that right?
There was this pop, this idol group from Japan. I mean no, idol group from the Philippines, and I don't know what their name, but we can't. Their song is locked from the rest of all of us.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's cool.
When you're going into a tournament, like what's your preparation like? Do you kind of pick your costume first? Do you pick the song first? Because it seems like in Pump It Up, like costume and song go hand in hand, and that's the thing that you knock out of the park is your costumes. Like you almost have like this whole like character you've developed, and I thought that was really cool.
That's the thing. For me, the costume comes last. Like, historically in Pump Rules, there's always been kind of a huge score for like apparel and props and stuff. If I had the choice, I would lower that down. And actually, for this specific tournament, they decided to cut from the official rules that score in half.
Yeah,
there you go.
it worked out.
So-
I like that.
Yeah, like that's what because I'm all about the movement. But because I, cosplay is my life, like these years, and it's just something I've added up on top of there. And this song, I just it's so arrogant, aggressive. It was the certain vibe I was really going for in a song, because I don't celebrate K-pop that much. It's never not really been my thing. I like being, this out of the world character. I love being ugly. But still bring this interesting form of like ballet and jazz, being elegant. I like to take things to extremes, and I felt I could do it with this.
It's really cool. Like Black Swan-esque.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, it had everything.
It was.
Yeah, it was aggressive. I enjoyed the routine very much. It was like different. There were like different personas within like the routine, and it was just it was just building up to like this. I don't know, like this beast. Like it was so good.
Yeah, the premise of that routine, I just was all to take the extremes of three emotions,
Right.
Being cutesy, being elegant, and being absolutely insane.
That you nailed all three of those.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, just kind of curious, like when you're up there in freestyling, are there any like characters out there that you draw inspiration from?
Actually, for this, I took it almost from the song itself. The artist announced it as kind of like this Noah's Ark kind of thing. Like, I tried warning y'all, but, you know, too bad. It's about this character that's, you know, so arrogant and, you know, and just, you know, enjoying the death around him. Actually, at the end of my routine, when I stripped, I had like a pink paint-covered dress shirt. The pink paint, it's actually a reference to Danganronpa, because whenever a murder happens, I guess to make it, you know, less gruesome, like everyone bleeds hot pink.
Wow. Today we learned.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't really take as much like full-on, you know, anime characters or stuff like that, but this was kind of this abstract thing I took from, you know, my premise, the three emotions, and just taking what I have done or my experience through all my dance, bastardized it, and put it in this, you know, this, like, I really do think that routine is just absurd and strange, but you know what? It made something, and it made people think, so, about, you know, my idea of pump freestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was actually your first tournament win, right? Like for USPF, I believe?
For USPF, yes. Out of 4, yeah. My very first USPF was in 2013, and I got 3rd place. The second time in 2014, I controversy. I didn't even break top 8, but then I found out it was a calculation error. Third, I failed out of my second routine. That was such a torturous mix. Honestly, this was in 2016. It was in Chicago, and it was the Prime 1 tournament, and I was in such a bad place. I hated the entire mix, except for like one song. So I was like, I'm gonna dig the bottom of the barrel and listen to this song, and I'm like, it was kind of impending doom. Like, I just realized, thinking about hindsight, I should have just aborted the idea and just came up with something interesting. But it didn't turn out great, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. But I did pass the song for an IPF routine. Oh, nice. IPF is it's an informal international routine that's kind of like Freestyle Takeover, but okay. We do have like certain places in countries where we all have it together. Mm-hmm. And it went over, it actually became kind of controversial.
How so?
Some countries voted me dead last. I knew I wasn't the worst, but they were kind of repulsed by my routine. I didn't think it was that bad.
They ain't ready.
Yeah. They ain't ready.
The next year after, I made it absolutely worse. I made it like extremely explicit. Yeah. I scored significantly higher, nice. But then there were some countries that a little lower. But you know,
you can't be the best, be the absolute worst.
Absolutely, you know that's the thing. I don't want to make something mediocre. I just want to go all out.
I think that was my freestyle MO. If I can't be the best, I'm going to be the absolute worst.
Shoutouts to Absolute.
Killer Pals.
I love that. It's great.
Like, if freestyle doesn't have, like, a purpose, like, it just ends up kind of being middle of the line, trying to please everybody, but really not being...
Nothing memorable, basically.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just having some moves in there, but not really having a theme or like a statement you're trying to get out there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, what I've seen from your performances, like, you go in there, like, 110%. And it's really fun to watch. It's really something I never saw a lot back in the day. Like, there's Bruce Lee where he's like Spider-Man routine when he's telling the story of Spider-Man.
Tinsertion.
Yeah, Tinsertion of all
songs.
Such
an ugly song.
Yeah.
But it works so well. Yeah. For what he told it works so well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like very few routines have like a through line that tells a story from start to finish. It isn't just cool moves. So the more that we see, like the better.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
And can you just walk us through your dance background? Because I think listening to you talk about like your routine, and I just sort of it made me flash to kind of like seeing chefs with like high cuisine training, but they'll work on stuff like macaroni and cheese, but they'll do it with like a high class training. Right. And I feel like that's what I love about like your routines, and seeing you contextualize that even more is like, because you do have this background in dance, and I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna call what we do like crass, but you're able to apply that knowledge into this and synthesize it, instead of kind of like, you know, I got into DDR because that was like adjacent to anime or so. I don't know. Like, could you walk us through like your dance training and how you sort of fell into music gaming?
Oh,
like,
sure, absolutely. Well, I started DDR like in 2001. So when I was, do I want to say my whatever? When I was 11. But then I started getting into real dance in high school. I ended up being the leader of the step team, and we were supposed to have our first performance at our high school talent show, and it was 8 of us, and the funny thing is 6 of them dropped out, so it was just me and my friend. I've done a few DDR freestyles, like kind of just on my own, never in such a public setting, but you know, when Fairfield Scandia was kind of empty, and I just felt the music, you know, dealing on their Supernova and Extreme. I was just like, you know what, I just went in.
Fairfield, shout out to team, was it Scandia Security, ASS?
There was so much talent that came out of that arcade. It was insane.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, I feel like all of those guys just showed up at the same time. It was like, whoa, new challengers.
It's like here's 10 new freestylers.
Yeah. If it was like college basketball, they were literally like the Gonzaga of, you know, freestyle.
Yeah, straight up. That's a good analogy. Oh my gosh.
Steamroll everybody.
We just bought WCW.
Yeah, but remember we talked about this a little bit yesterday too. Like you have like a little bit of background in like ballet and like a little bit of jazz.
Oh, that's right. Like when I first went to college, which I finally moved out of Vallejo and into San Francisco. You know, I finally, because we didn't really have as many dance studios in Vallejo or that many times. We did have Dance Unlimited, but they kind of shut down. Or the guy there, I forgot if it was Farside. Oh no, I think he used to teach there.
Oh yeah, the popper.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I think it was him. I'm not sure, but after that, I started like I have so much freedom, and then I started going to all these classes in the cities. I started learning kind of Vogue Femme and old style Vogue and whacking. I started learning so many styles, just kind of building in the city. I just start like. When I first moved into the city, I started becoming, you know, I found new ways I finally felt like I was now more open to express my sexuality.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of been a big part of me, like moving out of Vallejo and into San Francisco and going into this extremely liberal setting, being San Francisco State University. I felt like I was building a lot of character going to all these dance classes. And then I decided to take dance on as a minor.
There you go.
And then it was a whole different world. Like, apparently I didn't take... I accidentally didn't take the 101 class. I was kind of like in the mid 300s class, and I was like, oh my god, everything is going so fast. But then I learned so much technique, so many how poised to learn about all my lines, you know, how things appear. I still did horrible, and but I learned so much through all this new jazz and ballet training, which I never got through any of the hip hop or the house I've ever learned in Dance Mission, City Dance, or ODC.
Right.
And I just build from there. Like, I think I only I'm an ex-dance minor. I ended up quitting because they have a rule that if you take about 3 semesters off, you're automatically kicked out of the program, and I had to take care of my grandma, so
Gotcha.
yeah. So I ended up kind of quitting that, but then I learned so much through my years there. I also made some teachers question things too. Like my choreo teacher, she did not like me. I don't know. She always thought that I was kind of doing some kind of weird thing, but then when it came down to my final, and they had another dance judge on here, my teacher didn't like it, but the other judge said I should have gone further. Like what my teacher was talking about, like, oh, stop doing that. She said, you should have went more absurd. You should have taken it to the extreme. So those words really, I still think about those words today.
Good influence.
Right.
Life lessons right there.
Exactly.
Actually, segueing into that, we were talking about this yesterday too, because we were talking about how pump freestyle back in the day was very centralized. It was very power move heavy.
Oh, very much.
Yeah, it was very power move heavy. Very like that's what freestyle was. There's not a lot of character, but there was a lot of flashy moves.
Right.
And I think what made you want to, I guess, break that mold, like when you started doing pump it up freestyle? Because I know
And choose pump to begin with.
and choose
too.
pump, yeah. Right. Well, it's like what made you realize that it's like I should be more absurd, like what that judge said. It's like what made you want to think like I should just be more absurd with pump it up freestyle rather than just stay with like what's accepted,
Like, I actually never thought pump freestyle for me was kind of an option because I didn't even know there was a scene at that point. Because the only times I could play Pump It Up was whenever the Pump It Up Zero machine at Milpitas Golfland was up, which wasn't that long. And when I was going to San Francisco State, oh god, Metreon, well, like when Portal 1 closed and Tilt was there, but no one went there. Yeah, they had a Pump It Up Pro machine, and like I was alone there, but I still did a few things, but I never really took it seriously because no one really cared. But at a random anime convention in Monterey, it's where I met Kevin Tan. Oh, cool. Kevin Tan, Roberto, and my new friends who were the core of the NorCal World Order. They were gonna have some tournaments for Pump It Up, and I was like, yo, is there gonna be freestyle there? And I was like, we haven't heard anything about that. And it was like, okay.
You gonna learn today.
Yeah. So, like, I've seen a lot of pump freestyle in the past, about World Pump Fest and all of the other stuff, but I just wasn't influenced by it. I kind of just did my own style and to that own song, and then they recorded it and it got a good amount of views. They sent it to the world champion, no, the US champion, and said, we're coming for you. So
That's awesome.
So
That's great.
Yeah. So it was really my friends that really encouraged me to, like, Roberto said, who I met there, he said, yo, this is different. I feel like he's going to change pump freestyle and how it is. And I guess that's how it is. Like,
Yeah.
like I've always had this style. I kind of built my identity between that moment, between that dance class moment and my very first time in now the thriving pump community here in the Bay Area.
Keeping freestyle alive while we were out of the scene.
Right. And I don't know, I just kept at it. Like, I just, started taking all sorts of inspirations outside of pump freestyle.
Yes.
I felt like I didn't have the need to give a lot of homage to, like, all the old school people. To be, it makes me sound like I have this selfish vision, and I'm really the chaotic heel just to break barriers.
Arm your idols. Screw it.
Right.
People want to see a good heel.
Right, absolutely.
That's the draws.
Why not?
Straight up.
I mean, further proof that, like,
got-
professional wrestling and freestyle are, like, just two tastes that taste great together. I mean, it's pretty obvious that you're from that group, NorCal World Order, obviously, a play on the NWO from the 90s.
Yeah, I actually made. I was the person that made the name for us because
Awesome.
I actually wrote. I typed up this very heelish promo on the U.S. Champions wall.
Oh no! That's awesome. Well, you worked them into a shoot.
Oh, the war.
Pipe bomb. Yeah.
And that's how I came up with the NorCal World Order. That we're coming for you.
That's so good.
Wow, so you were just like Scott Halling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. On his wall.
Yeah. Was I a straight edge at the time? I don't think I was.
That's really great. That's what freestyle needs. We need characters.
We need a villain, you know?
Yeah.
Anybody can be a hero, but it takes a very special person to be the villain.
Yeah.
And then the thing about the villain is that they're the hero in their own story. So there you go.
They serve a purpose in the ecosystem.
Thanos.
I'm here to represent for the femboys and everyone that I'm unapologetic when it comes to expressing myself on the DDR pad. My sexuality is a big thing, and I'll bring sex to the pad. Not even a sexy routine. I'll bring a sex routine.
Drop the Y. Add another X.
Right.
Add one more X. Have you ever freestyled Sexy Planet?
I was gonna say. I think we know what song is picking on Fanime now.
That song was too literal for me, so I'd rather. But it's people brought it up too. Yeah. Like, I'm also known for using kind of strange songs that no one really expects. I think my most viral video was to this song named Illustrious. I don't know if any of y'all know it, but it's kind of this dark organ, drum and bass kind of song. And somehow I was able to sexualize it in this weird, dark succubus way. And it was by an Indonesian producer, and he posted on his wall, and everybody was shocked. And about the kind of the Indonesian conservative kind of thing. Yeah. So they're kind of like, wait, this is scary.
They're freaked out by it, dude.
You got a reaction. That's what you were going
Absolutely.
for. Right? So,
So you double down.
exactly.
No. And if expressing who you are and if people find that heelish, I mean, fuck them. Yeah, at that point.
Yeah, one day I want to see if, if you just do a middle of the road routine, you just you still get applause. Yeah. I want to try to do a routine where I can make everyone boo me.
Oh, foreshadowing.
Wow.
Who knows?
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, striking up a conversation. Just striking conversation is I think that's how your approach to how your performances want to be. It's definitely way different from what other people want. Like I said, some people just want applause, but you want to strike conversation, you want to strike controversy, you want to you want to start an online debate.
Yeah. I don't want to come off as this super anti-conformist,
for
but
sure.
it's really it is as me as I am.
Yeah, as long I think that's all that matters is as long as it's is you're expressing yourself to the fullest.
yeah.
I think it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
As long as you're getting a reaction. That's the key.
Yeah. I think there's a difference between just wanting to be a middle of the road contrarian who just wants to be anti whatever, but listening to you talk and the way that you're imbuing your routines with this high concept and this themes and subtext. I mean, obviously you've thought about this, so you're obviously not trying to be oh, I didn't like X thing and I'm gonna do this. It's some year freshman college aggro, Nietzschean bullshit. You've thought long and hard about what you want to do, how you want to represent yourself, and you're, like you said, you're unapologetic about it.
He's committed to it.
Yeah, it's not I'm a troll. No,
We used to have that, but it's
You've had,
like I said,
yeah.
freestyles evolve. This is way more than that,
yeah.
Yeah.
and we're happy to see it. It's so different than what's been in freestyle in the past. And I saw you in was it 2008 the talent show routine?
Oh yeah, that one.
Your hair was cut you looked so different out there, and
Yeah.
to see the evolution over the years, it's black and white, man. It's crazy.
That was the most masculine routine I've ever done in my life. Looking at that now.
Oh, do you want to tell the audience about it? Listening?
Oh yeah. So for my okay, I actually did 2 routines at my high school talent show. One was my step routine because I wasn't supposed to be in there, but I wouldn't have. It would just been him alone. So I had to join him for that step routine. But my other routine, I took the TV from. Okay, here's a funny thing. I was actually the president of the DDR club at school.
We had one too.
Yeah.
We had one too.
Not only was he the president, he was also a client.
Like every Tuesday during lunch, me and my buddy would do that with a bunch of our friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we had that too.
Are y'all the presidents?
Yeah, we were.
Everyone's
the president. we.
It was actually Anime Club,
It was
but
the
I don't
Anime
think we
Club.
ever watched anime. We just played DDR.
We like watched one episode of like Tenchi Muyo, and then we all played DDR after that, like the following weeks.
Dude, I graduated high school in '93, so like, dude, we couldn't have even like a Mortal Kombat club at our place. y'all don't know how good y'all have it.
I like that, man.
Man, I chose wrong when I started chess club.
Fire my guidance counselor.
I'm gonna have some words with him.
So DDR club.
Yeah, so I took the TV from there and I put it on a cart.
I rolled it out.
Oh,
Yeah, and we rolled it out. I had a PS2 with Supernova 2. And I had some hard foam red octane pads, 2 of them.
Shout out to Red Octane.
Yeah.
And shout out to my buddy Mike No, who helped to develop those.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
they really stood out for a while. But I just went out there and did probably my favorite one of my favorite DDR licenses in the PS2 eras, Love on My Mind. And I just, at the time, I was just on YouTube and I was just searching international disco tournament and just learning all these moves.
Right.
And then I just went out there and, kind of did, like, long before Magic Mike. I did this weird, review, kind of like, disco inspired weird, I don't know what to call it now.
Magic Mike in a high school auditorium.
Yeah,
Those girls were going crazy.
Yeah.
it was wild, and I did end up winning the dance category for that.
That's a fairy tale ending right there. Storybook ending.
And a lot of that video also made it in, our senior video. So it's like, I definitely made my mark on the school after that. It was pretty wild.
Kind of in this time period between like '07 and now, like from our understanding, there wasn't much DDR freestyle going on. Was there anything that you were doing in that time?
Oh, I was just kind of being the weird guy at SF State. I was still gigging on, our arcade was weird at SF State. It would always mix between Extreme, Supernova 1, and Supernova 2, but it changed every semester. It was kind of weird. No, it changed every Fanime. Because they would bring those machines to Fanime and then just decide to switch it, like, right there.
Hold on a minute, playa. See, the show ties all together.
And I don't know, like I just had the random person just say, "Hey, you're cool."
It was the perfect spot. It was right next to the pool tables.
Right, exactly. And it was, like I didn't join anything up until that point. Until actually SAC Anime. I think it was in 2010. They decided, we're gonna have a DDR freestyle tournament. I don't know if you're familiar with. Y'all familiar with Jonas?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Triple
Explicit. Now the Juice.
Yes.
The Juice.
More family friendly moniker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's a family man.
Yeah.
Shout out to dads.
Yeah.
Hey.
We've got 2 in the building.
But his crew, who sets up the arcade for and gaming for SAC Anime, decided, we're gonna have a DDR freestyle tournament, and I was there and I brought this really It was a really bad after the game of love freestyle, but
There's no such thing as a bad after the game of love freestyle.
for me, judging by me. But no, it was entertaining and like, and then no, we had one more tournament after that, and then I won that, but and then after that, DDR freestyle is kind of dropped. Like there was a Fanime tournament,
Right.
and a Fanime exhibition,
Yes.
but that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And then when I find after that, that's when I got discovered, and that's when I started going more into dance game freestyle
And more into pump.
and more into pump. Yeah.
Right.
So DDR was still on my mind. Like, I've honestly took more inspiration from DDR freestyle than pump. Sorry, my pump friends, but
We're just feeling validated over here. Don't mind us.
Yeah, don't mind the praise.
It's just a lot of variety. A lot of variety in the DDR scene, and there still is. And
Absolutely.
I love seeing that.
like when and I noticed that when I went to my very first tournament in Japan, they were just having so much fun, and they were just all about performing, and it like the gap was just so wide of all the themes and props and everything that they were dealing with. They were just having a great time. Like they weren't really worrying about a lot of other things, and I didn't feel like winning was important at all. Like I was just there just to have fun.
Because the audience judges it, right?
Yeah,
There's no judging panel.
Yeah, the audience judges it. There are some. There is a judging panel to give some other prizes, some honorable mentions. I got to give one to myself, my choice. There was just this really, probably one of the cleanest locking routines I've ever seen on the pump pad in a while.
The Ringo?
No.
Ringo? Wow.
His name was Jax7.
Okay.
JAX-7. But yeah, it was pretty wild. They have so many great dancers there. There was some popping, there was some locking, and there was some, I don't know how to explain it. It was just fun, really.
I saw one guy do the same dance in the video to "She's My Wife."
Oh really?
He was mimicking the exact what's on the screen.
Oh, that's also I really want to push his name out. My phone is off, but his name is Edamame Zosui, something like that. But
from Japan, right?
Right. Yeah,
Zosui.
Zosui.
I subscribed to his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I actually met him.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was really happy that I was subscribed to him too. So yeah, he records the majority of. He's probably the biggest source of DDR freestyle in Japan. All his videos. There's so many great classic routines from back in the day too.
That's key. That's
Yeah.
crucial, man. That's
Like
really
he's
cool.
the Vuju.
The Vuju.
Like one of my most inspirational freestyles, I wouldn't have discovered it until I saw his channel. It was to that really old second mix song, "Love."
Oh, the one that Nakano.
Yeah.
Nakano. Dude,
Yeah.
Nakano's
Oh, man.
god
That's a great
tier.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that
is,
dude.
that is one of my my top 3 freestyles of all time. And then he just loves himself at the end. That's what I love. I would love myself.
So good.
So DaKree, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh, this was really illuminating. We're so happy to have you on, and we can't wait to see what you come up with next, like DDR or Pump. You bring skills, you bring joy. Again, you unapologetically yourself, and I think you're one of the things that the scene needs in 2018 in order to bring it to the next level. Yes. So we're so happy you're here. And is there anything you want to say? Shout out, closing arguments about whatever. Yeah.
I just want to plug in. If you want to see me, just where the hell I am, you can find me at neocities.org/DaKree. It's a 90s My webpage is like 90, circa 96.
by design?
What's that? Yeah.
Is that a site that just
So-
like we can make GeoCities pages?
No, well, straight up, it's just straight up HTML.
Oh.
But I have no HTML, so I just made it as basic as possible, just to have that disgusting 90s cheese.
And I think
The
it's
Space Jam site.
Yeah.
Do you have like a MIDI embedded?
Oh, I need to add one. I need to.
Or have a hit counter at the bottom.
An under construction .jpeg.
Spinning.
Yeah, a spinning skull on fire.
Yeah, guys, he's still working on it.
Still under construction. Oh, good. neocities.com/DaKree.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
Or I think it's .org.
Or
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
.org. Okay.
Or you could find it on my Twitter too at DaKree. I made sure to steal that name from as many sites as I could.
Good.
Because
Smart move.
yeah, there's someone from what's his? I think he's from Germany who got pissed that he started searching my name and said, "What is this gay shit? I like anime, but nothing like this."
Fuck off.
I had a similar experience because my name was DCB,
Yeah.
and so I had registered like the DCB.com just to like do like school projects and stuff.
yeah.
And there was like this Christian rock powerhouse named the Dave Crowder Band, and I started getting emails from them like, "Hey, why did you register our domain?" I'm like, "This is my domain." Well, we want it, and then I kind of just ignored them after that. So you have to go to like CrowderMusic.com to get to them because of me. Shout outs to Christian rock.
You step your SEO game up.
David Crowder is still salty as fuck. To this day.
Is that why we haven't heard from them? Because you tanked them?
They could have been on next
Stop your hit
A-listers
counter.
reels for you.
Oh my God.
Oh, and also we have a show at Fanime. I'm gonna plug in Cosplay Wrestling Federation.
Nice.
I'm one of the co-owners. It's like everything you want. It's like I'm gonna steal from what my friend said. It's kind of like whose line is it anyway, but in an actual pro wrestling construct, and kayfabe is all real. We push it so hard. Yeah, there's no actual physicality, but there's characters, there's promos, it's just a great amount of fun, and you'll get to see my other alter ego, DaKree.
Oh, hey.
That's a great name.
It's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be on Sunday during Fanime. 7, I think. We're now a 3-hour show. We went from 2 to 3. We're now
Again, that raw treats.
Extra ad buy.
Exactly. We also have shirts coming out too. You can buy them from me at the show, or if you go to Fanime Swap Meet, you can buy some from there, and I'll have a lot of gay shit too. If you like male idol stuff and Star Ocean, I have stuff from you. Yeah.
Wow, throwback.
I'm in the very small Star Ocean community, and I have so many Japanese friends too. So half my timeline is Japanese characters, and I have like a first grade proficiency in the language. So it's like crazy.
Good stuff.
There you go.
Follow this man.
Yeah.
So moving on, I guess our last segment of this episode is there's no easy way to do this, so I might just rush into this and talk about Dance Rush.
Extra stage.
Thanks, Dad.
That's the latest release from Konami, and pretty much everyone here in this room has had a chance to try it out, and let's just go around quickly and give our impressions of it. And start with...
Who's first to play it? Let's go.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, so I was the first to play it. I was there at Eastridge Mall, round 1, when they first got the machine. There was at least 15 people in line waiting to play the game. I think someone got like receipt paper from like one of the round 1 registers and just started putting down names.
Oh wow.
It was that nuts. I got to play 2 times in a 2.5 hour period. Wow. Yeah. So I didn't get too much time to play, but from what I got to play and from what I've been from all the other times I've gotten to play after that, from a technical standpoint, it's not too it's not too difficult. There's no specific way to step in the game when the notes come down. I think what it judges is just there's a left side and a right side, and as long as you're stepping on the left side and a left note comes, as long as you step on that side, you're gonna hit it. So I think for this game, because of that, I think it's a lot more viable for like just messing around, freestyling, and just having fun. So from a technical standpoint, it's not too crazy, but from like a freestyle standpoint, it's amazing. You can do whatever the hell you want, and it's great. Like I'm getting like 98% on 10s, and I was like shuffling and flailing my arms around like as much as I could, and like, it was awesome. I mean, it's I think anyone can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Very easy, super easy to get into, and it teaches. And this is cool because there's even like songs that teach you how to do like the Running Man and stuff, and because there are notes in like more of the harder difficulty songs that almost require you to do that specific step. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, the song list is very EDM heavy. I think the audience that Konami's trying to reach out is gearing more towards like the big room house, the ravers, the shufflers, jump stylists, things like that.
Just like the aesthetic of it. Just
The aesthetic of
the
it
colors,
is very...
it's so much going on at once.
Yeah, like it's bright, it's like, it's colorful, it's very, yeah, I don't know. Like even like the pad itself, it's like...
Oh my gosh.
It's like 8 million colors going on. Like when you step on it, it illuminates and like... I don't know. It's a really cool machine. And
It's like
really
always
cool.
changing.
Yeah, it's really fun. As a dance game, it's really viable for like just expressing yourself a lot more than with like DDR, where like you're constricted to like 4 or 8 arrows. You know, you can just go almost anywhere and still kind of pass the song. You know.
I jumped on it for the first time. Like I didn't really know how to play, and I just got on it, and I just felt myself kind of moving and snapping and clapping, like the way that the arrows are like telling you where to go.
Right.
Like it's like you almost feel wrong if you're not kind of grooving a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was really fun.
Yeah.
It's really intuitive.
Yeah. I think everyone that I've seen play, it's funny because I've seen people like, I've seen like tech players like Stretch and Chris for Life. Play the game, and like even them, like, you know, they're very like just super tech heavy, like no freestyle background whatsoever, but like I have a video of Chris, he's like bobbing his head. He's like,
he can't help it.
He can't help it. You gotta like, yeah. It's really cool. So it's like, I think, like just what Ryan was saying, it's like it almost feels wrong not to like bop your head or clap or groove, while playing the game. So
like, what was that campaign Konami did when they released? It was like Extreme, or one of the mixes. It was like, we're starting over.
Yeah, it was Extreme.
That was Extreme. It's like, no, you're not. You're just adding more songs.
That's right.
But this game feels like we're starting over.
Yeah.
Like, this is Konami really going for something new and fresh and original.
Yeah.
And I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Just the amount of space you have to dance. Like, you get this giant rectangle to go wherever the hell you want. And there's really no wrong way to step in this game. It's still about stepping, but there's more of a groove to it, and a sort of like this that EDM spirit of just dances for everybody.
Yep.
So, dude, this game's got freestyle potential. Like, I want to see where it goes in like a year.
KAC
2019.
2019 maybe.
Oh my god, dude, it's getting crazy.
Yeah. So,
DaKree, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, like when I first, I'm lucky enough that my main round one is Sun Valley Mall because no one was there.
there you go.
So while y'all had to do,
it
was the perfect place for me to practice Pump It Up. I'll tell you that much.
So while everyone, I was at ERM waiting for 2.5 hours. I was just like playing straight. Sorry, but
sorry, not.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing for me. I felt there was no incentive to need to score high at all, at all in the game. Like when I was on there, I was there to dance. I was like, damn, I'm feeling it. Like my favorite, one of my favorite anime ending themes is on there, Sugar Song and Bitter Step, and I was like, dang. This is the license I wanted on DDR. Why is it on here? Dang. But no, like I I played so much with the stage. You know, I could go diagonal. I could move circular, like in circular pattern. Like, I was just going all out. Like, I love how this game just encourages that. And, you know, it was... I had a great time. Even, you know, I'm not really a shuffler, or I don't... and I still could work on a lot of my, like, house footwork, but... I was really getting into this, no matter like what song it was. And I was like, the first time I played it, I accidentally hit the difficulty up button. So I was playing a 7 for my very first one. But you know what? I still hit above a 90. And I was still, you know, I was still getting in. I was still gigging hard. And you know what? I haven't had as much fun with a new game in ages.
It's super generous.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that like people get into it and start developing like the upper body grooves, and then bring that over to DDR and see what they do there.
Yeah, we saw that with Polyrath, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he's saying he was using moves that he would do on Dance Rush, and he translated it into DDR, and I was like, you could see it. He was doing a lot of shuffling, and so.
Like, I mean, DDR doesn't really teach that. It teaches you stepping, and you got to bring a lot of your own ideas and character into that. And I think it's the opposite of Dance Rush. I'm really kind of just blown away by how this game is designed.
Yeah.
And what it encourages and stresses, or not stresses, what it encourages, and just the kind of music. The style of dance has to fit the music, and the type of music that's in this game just brings that out of you. I'm not a shuffler either, but I can see so much being applied to this game, like as far as house dance for sure. And I'm like excited to learn how to shuffle now, like having played this.
I guess what I'm hoping, this might be more like hypothetical fantasy booking, but you know, like we've been around arcades long enough, you'll see like the randos who kind of come in and they'll do like, have you ever been mellow on light, and they'll try to dance, and you could see them kind of like struggle when they're trying to, and I really would like to see them in like a Dance Rush situation. Where if they're just doing like the what that Japanese lady 1-star or whatever, and that's their first like introduction to dance gaming, but then like the way that the game was designed and the mechanics are, I mean like the life bar is so like not prominent, like you don't really care about that, and I think maybe seeing people kind of like ease more into the like you can't help but dance to this because of how the steps are, it's not like a 4 thing, it's more non-linear. It's the keyboard from Big, but on ecstasy. You know. So I'd like to see how like when more like I'm gonna say that like general consumers ?
New players.
Yeah, new players. Yeah, would consume that comparatively to like, you know, we'd see randos, and that's not being, you know, derogatory, but yeah, they show up and play, and they like, whoa, what is this? This looks fun, and maybe they would have more fun with that because it's less of the like, no, you have to now do up. You're screwing this up. You're not hitting up. You know?
It's cutting it in half. There's left and right. It's no longer up and down.
Yeah.
And that's huge, dude. And that's people are gonna walk away encouraged by this game instead of discouraged by what they can't do.
Right.
I think.
I'm looking at Mel's like Dance Dance Revolution Extreme marquee and just realizing DR just took the extra dance out. So like and it's just kind of like, yeah, like it is dance. Like, you know, because if you want to, I'm getting excess like philosophical, but like if Dance Dance means like the arrows plus you dancing, Dance Rush just means no, just fucking dance. So
there you go.
Good marketing.
Yeah.
That's the tagline for Dance Rush 2. Dance Rush, just fucking dance.
Do it already. So with that said, we are at the end of our ropes. We're at the end of episode Try to Love You. This has been the Freestyle Takeover podcast, your number one in your hearts DDR Freestyle podcast, and I have been your co-host, Pretty Paolo Zambrano. You can follow me at Paolo, Paolo, on Twitter. Be sure to follow Freestyle Takeover on Twitter at FS Takeover. Go to freestyletakeover.com. You'll be able to find the largest archive of DDR Freestyle that you can watch for free over the last 15 years. Give us some love on Facebook and give us a rating on iTunes. We haven't been plugging that enough. So 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Let's take it away from Ryan and let's just bring it home.
All right. Ryan, you can follow me at Regular Ryan on Twitter. I mostly just retweet Freestyle Takeover stuff these days, so if you're following that, you get the good content twice.
Yeah, and I'm John, aka Chaos. You can follow me at a 40 ounce for breakfast. So that's A, the number 40, then OZ, abbreviated, then breakfast. And yes, I have tried it one time and it sucked. I mostly tweet about things dance related and DDR freestyle related. So yeah, follow me for updates on that. You know, like updates on like what I'm doing with dance as well. So you know, I appreciate the love. So.
And I am at YayGabbyJ on Twitter. I also run the FS Takeover social media, and I'm trying to get as much awesome freestyle content, dance content out there as I can. Create video content, trailers, all kinds of stuff, recaps. It's so much fun these days, dude. It's like a part-time job these days, but I love it.
The videos you've been seeing on like Freestyle Takeover, that's all James's handiwork, and yeah,
Stout.
yeah. Like I just
Fantastic.
publicly want to say that.
Thanks,
Yes.
guys.
Like
Thank you.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Appreciate it.
yeah.
And me, Melvis, you can find me pretty much anywhere on social media at DJ Melvis, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Join me, be my Fitbit pal. I don't care. You know, it's all about love.
Oh, and yeah, again, you could find my portal at neocities.org/DaKree. Or just search DaKree on Twitter, and my site is there. I retweet, well, I really like a lot of gay things, but I like yaoi and like very muscular guys and dance games, so yeah. Oh, but even if you follow me, I swear I don't publish like, you know, bare phallics or anything. So it's not. It's not NC-17, but it's reaching there. But for all your gay content, DaKree.
You're like a rated R director's cut.
Exactly. TV-14.
Yeah.
TV-14.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
And from all of us at Freestyle Takeover, just dance!